The FIFA World Cup, a tournament that has given us unforgettable drama, legendary players, and moments that will forever be etched in history. But some matches stand above the rest, captivating the world with their intensity, passion, and pure magic. From last-minute goals to penalty shootout heartbreaks, today, we take a deep dive into the greatest World Cup matches of all time. It was a perfect final, rising above Italy's defense. He met Rivellino's pinpoint cross with a powerful header, sending the ball past goalkeeper Enrico Albertosi. His celebration, fist raised high, became one of the most iconic images in World Cup history. Italy, however, refused to surrender. In the 37th minute, they capitalized on a rare Brazilian mistake. Roberto Bonacegna pounced on a defensive lapse, slotting home the equalizer. With his signature vision, held the ball just long enough before laying off a perfectly timed pass to Carlos Alberto, who stormed forward and smashed a first-time shot into the net. It was a kind of goal that defines unmatched, and a victory etched in legend. One match, one legend, two of the most unforgettable goals in football history. The 1986 FIFA World Cup quarterfinal between Argentina and England was more than just a game. It carried the weight of political tension, a shadow cast by the Falklands War just 4 years earlier. But once the ball started rolling, all eyes were on one man, Diego Maradona. What unfolded that day in Mexico City will become one of the most iconic moments in the sport's history. As the second half began, the match was still deadlocked. Then, in the 51st minute, Maradona made history through controversy. A lofted ball into the box saw him challenge England's goalkeeper, Peter Shilton. But instead of heading it, Maradona reached up and punched the ball into the net. For a brief moment, players and fans froze, waiting for the referee to react. But the official, having missed a handball, allowed the goal to stand. England's protests were ignored. After the match, Maradona famously described the goal as a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. And just like that, football had its most infamous goal. But if his first strike was built on deception, the second was pure magic. Just 4 minutes later, Maradona picked up the ball deep in his own half. What happened next would be remembered as the greatest goal ever scored. With dazzling speed and close control, he weaved through England's midfield, gliding past defenders as if they weren't there. Terry Butcher and Fenwick lunged in desperation, but he danced past them effortlessly. Then, one-on-one with Shilton, he feinted, slid the ball past a helpless keeper, and sent it rolling into the net. 11 touches, 10 seconds. A moment of genius. Argentina won 2-1. And Maradona had single-handedly decided the game. The mix of controversy and brilliance defined his career, and Argentina went on to lift the World Cup. But even decades later, this match remains one of football's most legendary encounters, where the hand of God and the goal of the century were born. July 8, 2014. Belo Horizonte, the night Brazil's greatest dream turned into their worst nightmare. The nation was ready, the crowd a sea of yellow, their voices filled with hope. They had waited years for this moment, a chance to win the World Cup on home soil. But something was missing. Neymar, their star, their hero, was out with a fractured vertebra. Their captain, Thiago Silva, suspended. Even then, no one expected what would come next. From the opening whistle, Germany took control. Their passing was crisp, their movement sharp, and within minutes, they smelled weakness. Then the storm began. Thomas Muller struck first, breaking the deadlock. Miroslav Klose followed, making history as the World Cup's all-time top scorer. Before Brazil could even react, Toni Kroos found the net twice in quick succession. Sami Khedira added another. Within 18 minutes, it was 5-0. The stadium, once deafening, fell silent. Some fans clutched their heads in disbelief. Others wiped away tears. Many simply got up and left, unable to watch what was unfolding before them. nothing more than a whisper in a wreckage, a meaningless consolation in a match that had already been lost long before. As the final whistle blew, Brazilian players collapsed to the ground. David Luiz, in tears, faced the cameras, apologizing to an entire nation. The fans in the stands, one so full of joy, were left with heartbreak. Some wept openly. Others stared blankly at the field, struggling to process the horror they had just witnessed. This was more than a loss. It was a scar, a moment that would haunt Brazilian football forever. Germany would go on to lift the World Cup, but this match became the defining performance. For Brazil, it became the symbol of a shattered dream, a wound that would never fully heal. And there you have it, some of the greatest matches in World Cup history. Moments of magic heartbreak and pure footballing excellence. Which of these matches do you think is the greatest? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible football content.